don't get to speak. And so, we wanted to create a space for people who usually don't get to speak in this community and in this country to have a forum to do so. I wanted to have a forum where we live in a county where almost 50% of our population lives in poverty. And we live in a county where the latest statistics that came out with the SHS are that about 1,500 people are currently experiencing homelessness in Grace Harbor, which is a really, really high number. It's a higher number than has been published before. So we have a group, many of you are sitting here, of incredibly courageous people from Aberdeen, from Westport, from Hopeland, who are going to speak to their own experiences. And I invite not everybody who signed up to speak. There'll be open time for people who have experienced these issues to speak. And definitely I invite anybody who wants to speak or is inspired to speak to come up and do so. I've been a pastor in this community for almost 3 years. So a little backstory on me, I've been homeless myself. I grew up here in Grace Harbor. I grew up in East County. And when I tell about the work that I do, I often feel like people only partly believe the things that I say, partly believe just how desperate life can be on the streets. Just how the cycle from street to jail and jail to street, just how much damage that can do to a community over a long period of time. And how much brutality people face. And how much courage people have. I think that's the thing that strikes me the most, is the amount of courage and bravery I see every day. So to all of you who are here to speak, and to speak about your own experiences, I want to thank you for being willing to do that. You are my heroes. You really are. I see how much people go through. I see how much you go through. And I am incredibly, incredibly honored to know you. So, it's kind of hard to speak out. And I kind of like talking in big groups like this now, even though, as everyone knows, my voice isn't very loud. But I used to have a really, really hard time. And there was something I always used to tell myself. And there was this phrase, I think I came up with it on Facebook somewhere. And it said, speak the truth, even if your voice shakes. And my voice shakes a lot. But there is a tremendous amount of courage and bravery that people have to speak out. And I had to learn more than anything to get over my own shame. Because I think we live in a world where we believe that if you're homeless, or if you've ended up in and out of jail, or if you ended up on the streets, that it's your fault. That it's all your fault. That somehow you're intrinsically a bad person. And I know I believed that about myself. And it took me a really long time to share my own story. And it took me a while to learn to hold my head up and to realize that all of us are suffering together. That no one deserves to be on the street. Nobody deserves to not be treated like a human being. In other words, positively, that we all deserve to be treated as a full human being. And so, as you all know, I can blather on forever. But this is really not my forum. This is really not the place for you to listen to me. So I want to invite you instead, after Aaron gives us the ground rules, I want to invite you to listen to my heroes.